So very good morning everyone. ಯಾರು ತಿನ್ಲೇದ? Okay, fine. Paper number 8, cost accounting. I hope this paper already started, sir. When it comes to the weightage point of view, here I am discussing about techniques of cost accounting. So from techniques of cost accounting, you will get 38 marks. So you can easily crack that question, sir. Lot of people feel that it is very difficult to learn the concepts of standard costing, marginal costing, and budgetary control. But it's a very, very important concept in final level. Because I'm a final faculty, I'm dealing SCM also, strategy cost management. So if you have a strong fundamental knowledge in intermediate stage, you can easily crack SCM. So if you lose a subject knowledge in the intermediate stage, if you're only focusing on the marks point of view, it will not up to the mark for final. You need to learn concept point of view that will give a picture clarity in SCM final. So only SCM in final 60 marks paper. And that 60 marks, the majority stake of 30 marks came same from these 3 chapters called standard costing, marginal costing. These 2 only. Budgetary is a part of the standard costing. It's not a particular chapter in final. Okay, now? So first I will explain an exam point of view, then we will start slowly regarding to the subject. First, when it comes to the exam point of view, I hope you already know the question paper pattern. MCQs for 30 marks, remaining are practical and theory questions, right? When it comes to practical and theory questions, start from question number 2 to 8, right? Okay, then fine. When it comes to, I will give a clarity regarding to these 3 chapters related question numbers. Question number 5B, question number 5B, it's a slot is fixed for standard costing problems, a basic problem. You will get a mandatory 7 marks problem, it's a basic version. Next, question number 6. Generally, you know, the questions are classified into 2A, 2B, 3A, 3B. But when it comes to the costing kind of subjects, some questions they ask for directly 14 marks. At the time, they will not give A, B, they will give directly number. It is a question number 6. Marginal costing. From this chapter, you will get 14 mark question. Okay. So when it comes, they will give material. We need to discuss about our material first. In our material, I covered all ICM related material questions, past question paper questions, and MQPs, model question papers, as well as workbook provided by ICMA. So single solution, if you follow our material, that is much more enough. Okay. Now when it comes to the marginal costing, same these 3 chapters reflected in your group 2 management accounting. Same chapter, but chapter names will be changed. Concepts will some more advanced. Okay. When it comes to the marginal costing 14 mark questions, they will not give as per your cost accounting material book questions. They will give as per MA questions. In MA only we have a lot of application related marginal costing questions. They will ask 14 mark questions from MA. Okay. So I will insert that questions also. Okay. So when it comes to our group 1 cost accounting, they provide only basic version of the marginal costing questions, but in exam they're asking standard questions. So high standard questions they're asking. The questions are framed in management accounting. So 14 marks. Next, when it comes to question number 7A, budget and budgetary control. From this chapter, you will get 1 7 mark question. Now, when it comes to apart from this theory questions and practical questions, you will get 3 MCQs. Marks around 6 marks. Sometime you will get 4 also. So if you will get 4 MCQs from these 3 chapters, you are so lucky. Now the total estimated marks from these 3 chapters are 36 marks to 38 marks. 40% of your question paper. Okay, now? Then fine. When it come to, so without late, I will start the subject. So you already know the objectives of cost accounting. Can anyone tell me the objectives of cost accounting? Why we are learning costing? There is nothing but objectives. So what are the objectives of costing? What are the objectives of costing? There are 5 objectives. What the first objective means? Estimation of selling price. Estimation of selling price. Next, determination of cost. Determination of cost. Ascertainment of profit. Ascertainment of profit. The two things is there very important: cost control and cost reduction. These are the objectives we are learning in costing. Okay, then fine. So tell me, what is the first one? Okay, you can use the word estimation, determination, computation. First, you have to understand the thing. So in simple terms, we need to find out cost. We need to find out cost. For the find outing of cost, you can change the word find outing, computation, estimation, calculation. Okay, now the theme is calculation of the cost. Now the first point is determination of selling price. Determination of selling price. The second thing is computation or estimation of cost. Computation or estimation of cost. But the third element, ascertainment of profit. You can also use what called calculation of profit, computation of profit. Ascertainment of profit. So these are the professional words, The ascertainment, computation, determination, these are the professional words, that's it. But theme you have to understand. Next, the fourth one, cost control. And the fifth one, cost reduction. Now, for the purpose of cost control and cost reduction, we are using methods and techniques. We are using what and what, methods and techniques. Can anyone tell me the methods, I hope you already know the list of the methods. List of the methods. List of the methods, please. Job costing, batch costing, contract costing. Next. Yeah, exactly. Process costing. Next, operating costing is also be known as service costing. Operating costing. Next, yeah, exactly. Joint and byproduct. These are the methods we are using for cost control as well as cost reduction. The next, when it comes to the list called techniques. So in our costing, we are using 3 types of techniques. The one is decision making technique. Another one, cost control technique. And the third one, planning and coordination technique. So repeat once again. Classification of techniques, please. Decision making techniques, fast control technique, planning and coordination technique. Are you guys clear? Now when it come to, sir, how I know decision making technique? So in decision making technique, ela telusukovali. So when it comes to the decision making technique, that's the purpose. They introduced a chapter name called marginal costing. If you learn the chapter of marginal costing, you can take what kind of decision what kind of techniques you learn? Decision making technique. The list of all concepts in marginal costing reflects decision making technique. Marginal costing. When it comes to the cost control technique, we can know with the help of the chapter name called standard costing. If you learn standard costing concepts, you know the meaning of, you know the cost control technique knowledge. Standard costing. When it comes to the planning and coordination technique, for this purpose, what the chapter you need to learn means the chapter name called budget and budgetary control. This is the evaluation of the budget and budgetary control chapter. This is the evaluation of standard costing. This is the evaluation of marginal costing. Ila vachena ee chapters. Are you guys clear? First, you have to understand the theme. You need to ask each and everything why. If you know, if you ask the why is a question in every concept, you can easily learn the subject. Subject to economic budget costing. Okay. Now when it comes to budget, budgetary control. So today we want to start with a budget and budgetary control. So I hope you already know the basic sense regarding to the budget. What is meant by budget as per your knowledge? What is the meaning for budget as per your basic knowledge? We learned that word of budget in several times in a lot of places. As per that, what is the meaning of budget? Estimation. What is the meaning of budget? Estimation. And also I provided a word, professional word. Instead of estimation, the good word is planning. Planning for what? Planning for past or present or future? Future. So by using a past information, I am taking a current present policy for future objective. That is the meaning of planning. Are you guys clear? Then fine. What is our chapter now? Budget and budgetary control. When it comes to here, you have to learn three meanings. Meaning of budget, meaning of budgeting, meaning of budgetary control. The concept of budgetary control is related to CMA final. When it comes to the inter, you have to learn only two things, that is called budget and budgeting. Now, can anyone tell me these three words are same or different? So write it down this also, I will give a time at the end of the session. Just now, listen the class. Close your books. Tell me, budget, budgeting, budgetary control. Three words are different or same? There's a common sense, sir. If it is the same, means all have same name. If they have a different names means mandatory, there is a either fully different or a slight difference. Yes or no? No? Guess karo ma. What is the meaning of budget and budgeting and budgetary control? Guess karo. Just interact with me, ma. You will get a good knowledge. కరెక్ట్ రాంగో పక్కన పెట్టి చెప్పేసే ఫస్ట్. కరెక్ట్ అయితే క్లాప్స్ కొడతారు, లేదంటే నేను ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్ చేస్తాను, అంతేగా. సో వాట్ ఇస్ ద మీనింగ్ ఆఫ్ బడ్జెట్ అండ్ బడ్జెటింగ్ అండ్ బడ్జెటరీ కంట్రోల్? In everywhere we are using this, ma. In everywhere. So you need to qualify cmainter. That is your planning, right? That is your planning. That is called budget. Be clear? Now for completion of cmainter, you are prepared a plan. You need to take a coaching and revision exams and study hours. The planning, implementation of the planning is nothing but budgeting. Are you guys clear? Now after completion of the syllabus, they will give schedule, revision exam schedule. Yes or no? No, that is nothing but budgeting. The timetable is nothing but budgeting. Now when it come to they provided a timetable, some people will follow thoroughly, some people will not follow, some people will follow their own timetable. These things will be happen. Very clear? Now what I planned is nothing but standard. When it come to the reality, it may be happen, not to be happen. Yes or no? No. Now the plan is nothing but budget, the timetable is nothing but budgeting. Now the comparison of planning and actual is known as budgetary control. Are you guys clear? How I know, are you how I know the things are happen good or not means with help of comparison. నేను ఇచ్చిన షెడ్యూల్ కరెక్ట్గా జరిగిందా లేదా నాకు ఎలా తెలుస్తుంది? నువ్వు ఎలా పర్ఫామ్ చేసావు, నేను ఇచ్చిన టైం టేబుల్ ప్రకారం పర్ఫామ్ చేసావా లేదా కంపేర్ చేస్తారు రెండు. కంపేర్ చేసినప్పుడు అవి గుడ్ థింగ్స్ అవ్వచ్చు, బ్యాడ్ థింగ్స్ అవ్వచ్చు. దట్ ఈస్ కాల్డ్ కంపారిజన్. యూ విల్ గెట్ అ వేరియన్స్, డిఫరెన్స్. దట్ ఈస్ నథింగ్ బట్ బడ్జెటరీ కంట్రోల్ దట్ వీ విల్ లెర్న్ ఇన్ ఫైనల్ లెవెల్. నౌ when it come to our exam point of view, just preparation of timetable is nothing but budgeting. That is our agenda for budget and budgetary control. Okay now? Then fine. In simple terms, do you understand the budget? Okay, now I will write the sentences. The plan for future is known as budget. Next. Preparation of plan. What is meant by plan? What is meant by plan? Plan means budget. The preparation of budget is known as budgeting. Do you understand the logic behind this? Now preparation of plan, in simple terms, how to make plan. That is called budgeting. Now when it comes to the budgetary control, ma, how to ensure the plan is followed. So I hope you will not get this sentence. That's why I will write simple terminology here. Comparison of planning and actual. Comparison of planning and actual. Okay, then fine. So the concept of budget we will learn in 3 point of view. One is individual point of view, another one is government point of view, another one is company point of view. In our syllabus they discussed about companies. Now when it comes to the individual point of view, is mandatory of budgeting. Individual point of view, budgeting is mandatory. As of your knowledge, not mandatory. Go and ask your dad and mother. They will tell you budgeting is how much important in household. That's clear. In our every home they are planning every month budget. So daddy will give a salary to your mother will plan this month expenditures and this month's incomes for future. Yes or no? No. So the planning is important for individual, government as well as companies. Now sir, okay sir, government point of view is mandatory. Yes, In every year February, they are announcing union budget. Union budget. Are you guys clear? Now, when the same thing happening in companies, in production point of view as well as service point of view. Now tell me, in simple terminology, what you said meaning of budget, ma? Planning. Can I use a word called estimation also? This will be done in 3 members point of view. What are the 3 members we have? Individual, government. Can I use a word called business, ma? Instead of company, I'm using a word called business. Yeah, this is a perfect example for individual. Yes or no, ma? Okay, then fine. This is a perfect example for government, ma. Next. Okay, then fine. In business point of view, in which areas we need to plan, ma? In business point of view, in which areas we need to plan? Production, exactly. Next. Raw material also planning is required. Yes, exactly. Labor point of view is not required. Labor point of view, we are not focusing on the units, we are focusing on the hours. Labor hours also planning is required. Okay, then fine. Overhead point of view is needed, amma. Overhead point of view is needed, planning. Yes, in overhead point of view also needed. Why? Because I'm not producing today. I'm producing in future. I'm planning today itself. Are you clear? In today, I need to consider raw material, I need to consider labor, I need to consider overheads. I need to consider finished good units, I need to consider selling price. Do you understand the logic, ma? Okay, then fine. So in a business point of view, we are checking in a different areas. That is nothing but production point of view, sales point of view, raw material point of view, labor point of view, overheads point of view, 5 point of view. That is called functional budgets. This is the questions they are asking in exam. Prepare a sales budget, prepare a production budget, prepare a raw material budget, prepare a labor cost budget, prepare a overhead cost budget. Do you understand the planning here? Okay, then fine. So take an example to understand in business point of view. So this is our product, ma. For this product only you have to give planning. So mere nak planning cheppali. Ee product tayar cheyalante what are the requirements you have, ma? For manufacturing of this Vivo X200, I think this is a mobile. One of the costliest mobile in Vivo. So please tell me the resources you want for manufacturing this. Spare parts, can I name it as called raw material? All spare parts covered under raw material definition. Okay, then fine. Next, ma. What, ma? Labor is required. Okay, then fine. Next, ma. Overhead is not needed. Overhead also needed, na? Variable is needed. Fixed also needed. Now, with the help of that three inputs, I can manufacture this. For you will get a total cost. For the total cost, you will add some expected profit. If you add it to the cost plus profit, you will get selling price. That will you announcing in meet. Okay. Now, raw material, ma. The planning is how much, ma? 40,000 rupees. Labor cost, ma. 15,000 rupees. Next, overheads, ma. It includes both variable nature as well as fixed nature. 20,000. What about the total cost, Nana? The total cost equals to 75,000. For this 75,000, my expected or estimated profit is 15,000. I'm planning profit is 15,000. Now what about the total ma? What ma? Now what is the meaning of 90,000? Sales are selling price. Sales are selling price. Sales is different, selling price is different, you know. Per unit express is called selling price, total value is known as sales. Now this is all about one particular mobile. Are you guys okay now? Now this is called selling price per unit. Now tell me ma, this is your estimation or actual? This is your estimation or actual? Estimation. So as a managers, as a company owner, I am asking, I need to plan this mobile. Please give me your quotation. So raw material manager ni raw material ఎంత అవుతుందని అనుకుంటున్నావు నువ్వు చెప్పు, లేబర్ మేనేజర్ ఎంత అవుతుందో అనుకున్నావో చెప్పు, ఓవర్ హెడ్ మేనేజర్ ఎంత అవుతుందో అనుకున్నావో చెప్పు, దాన్ని బట్టి నేను డిసైడ్ చేస్తా. ఓకేనా? నౌ ద రా మెటీరియల్ మేనేజర్ సేయింగ్ దట్ ద రా మెటీరియల్స్ కాస్ట్ estimated cost is 40,000. The labor cost manager is nothing but HR manager. He is saying that the labor cost will be 15,000 per mobile. Now overhead manager, also cost manager or cost accountant. Cost accountant, you all are the overhead managers. Cost accountant, he is saying that for producing of one mobile phone, you have to spend 20,000. Is an estimation. Okay, then fine. The total cost is 75,000. Now as a owner, I decided I want a profit of 15,000 rupees. As a manager, you will give only cost related information. As a owner, I will add profit. I added 15,000 profit. The estimated selling price is 90,000. When it comes to the reality of a manufacturing of the commodity, the cost will be more or less, can be happen. I can't say exactly these values. Now when it comes to, we will talk about the reality. This is called estimation. Now when it comes talks about actuals. The raw material actual 50,000 rupees ma, due to different reasons. Due to war. Sir, war will impact raw material cost. Yes, they are imported raw materials. Are you guys okay now? Now petrol prices will increase. They will add to that product only due to lockdowns. Are you guys clear? Sir, only increase, there is no decrease. Yeah, sometimes it will be happen, decrease also. Are you okay now? Next, when come to the labor cost, 10,000. Why labor cost is 10,000 ma? We planned 15,000 na. Why in reality 10,000? Why? Because there is a huge supply of labor. There is a huge supply of labor. పని చేసే వాళ్ళు ఎక్కువ ఉన్నారు, పని తక్కువ ఉంది. అప్పుడు ఏం చేస్తారు? తక్కువ పనికి తక్కువ మనీకి ఒప్పుకుంటారా లేకపోతే ఎక్కువ మనీకి ఒప్పుకుంటారా? తక్కువ మనీకి ఒప్పుకుంటారు. That is the 10,000. Guys, are you clear? Now when it come to overheads ma, 25,000 rupees. Due to different reasons, the values are prices are be increases. Electricity charges will be increases. Electricity charges will be increases because of government changes. In past government, they provided a lot of subsidies. The new government will not use. Because of not use the subsidies, the current charges will be what happen? Increases in reality, 25,000 rupees. Now what about the total cost, Nana? What ma? 80? Oh, okay, 85,000. Now you can observe and compare the planning cost and actual cost. Increases, huh? Okay, then fine. Now for this 85,000 of incremental cost or increased cost, owner have two options. What are the two options, ma? What are the two options they have? Either he can lose his profit, at the time they can sell at 90,000 in the market. Okay, or they are focusing on the profit, means they need to increase the selling price. There are only two options. What are the option one ma? Either owner can option 1, option 2. What is the option 1 in the hands of the owner ma? He can go with the constant selling price. Constant selling price. It means selling price remains constant at the rate of how much ma? 90,000 na? If that commodity sale for 90,000, the cost is 85,000, how much profit they will lose? How much the profit they will lose? అంటే ఇప్పుడు కాస్ట్ 85,000, సేల్ చేస్తున్నది 90,000కి, అంటే నీకు ప్రాఫిట్ ఎంత వస్తున్నట్టు? 5,000. The planned profit is 15,000, but the actual profit is only 5,000. Now question, sir, why you are not changing selling price? Why you are not changing selling price? Go with the cost structure 85,000 plus profit 15,000 only. You will get a cost how much? Selling price is how much? 85,000 plus 15, 1 lakh. Sold that commodity for 1 lakh in the market. What is the problem? Yes, there is a problem name called competition. There is a problem called is what more? Competition. Our competitor selling same kind of mobile. So this is a Oppo, similar model. The same model our competitor selling in the market for 90,000. Are you guys clear? But you are selling at 1 lakh, 1 lakh rupees. Now tell me as a customer, not as a owner, tell me as a customer, are you purchase a mobile in a 1 lakh rupees or 90,000 rupees? Why? Because consumer act like a more satisfaction for less spending. Yes or no? No. That also one of the disadvantage we have. That's why I'm losing my profit. Now profit. How much is the profit, ma? If sell at 90,000, 5,000 is a profit. Now when it comes to the option number 2, ma, what's the option number 2? I want mandatory that profit. Now 85,000 is the cost, 15,000 is the profit. What about the selling price? What about the selling price, ma? 1 lakh. Sir, this case is possible. Yes, this case is possible. There is some loyal customers. I am a loyal customer to the Apple. What are the price it is? I will purchase Apple only. Okay, these two things need to checked by a company with the help of estimations and actuals. These are the things you have to done. Ma. Are you guys clear? Oh, picture vachinda budget and budgetary control ante. Are you okay now? Then fine. The next concept is classification of budget. Classification of budgets. Now the budgets are classified based on 3 types, ma. The classification of budget based on functionality. The classification based on time. The classification based on capacity. So let us learn the meaning of functionality, time and capacity. What is the meaning for functionality? What is the meaning of functionality? What is the meaning of functionality? The word functions represent day-to-day activities in the company. So what is the day-to-day activity? I will purchase raw material, I will assign labor, I will incur overhead cost, I will manufacturing a commodity. Do you understand the meaning of functionality? The day-to-day activity in the organization is known as functionality. Are you guys okay? Next, what is the meaning of time? What is the meaning of time? The time are generally classified into 2 types: short term, long term. The planning is doing in 2 things: short term planning, long term planning. If you planned for less than 12 months, that is called short term planning. If you planned for more than 12 months, that is called long term planning. That is called budgets classified based on time. Next, when it comes to based on capacity, what is the meaning of capacity? What is the meaning of capacity? The capacity meaning is we are expressing through machinery. We are expressing through factory. So in a simple example, in this classroom, what is the capacity of this classroom? 100 people. Are you guys clear? If next one person is came to this class, there is no place to sit here. Are you guys clear? Up to 100 only capacity of the classroom. So the same thing reflected in business also. Planned capacity. Planned capacity. Sometime we will use a planned capacity. Sometime we will use less than planned capacity. That is called underutilization, overutilization. optimum utilization. These are three words you learned in past. Underutilization of plant and machinery, overutilization of plant and machinery, optimum utilization of plant and machinery. Which is the best option in this three? Underutilization, overutilization, or optimum utilization? Optimum utilization is the best option. For optimum utilization, you will get more profits. Okay, now on the basis of functionality, we have master budget and another one is functional budget. I will give a clarity what is the meaning of a master budget and what is the meaning of functional budget. Now on the basis of time, current budget, short term budget, long term budget. Sir, you said only two, na? Short term and long term. Then why you written current budget? The current budget talks about today or 1 week or less than 1 month kind of budget is known as current budgets. 3 months, 6 months, 9 months is known as short term budget. More than 3 years, 4 years planning is known as long term budget. Now when it comes to capacity point of view, fixed budget, flexible budget, fixed budgets and flexible budgets. Now when it comes to exam point of view, you will get a question from this concept and this concept only. Remaining all are just for knowledge sake and theoretical knowledge. In exam point of view, you have to focus only on functional budgets and flexible budgets. Now functional budgets are further classified into, you already said my list, sales budget, next, exactly super, production budget, next next, you are planning, you said na, in lot of things you are planning for that mobile. You are planned for sales, you are planned for production, you are planned for raw material. In this raw material, two things we are preparing in budgets point of view. One is raw material consumption budget, another one is raw material cost budget. Raw material consumption, raw material cost. Next, labor cost budget. Labor cost budget. Next, yeah, don't use the word expenses. In our costing, instead of expenses, we are using a name called overheads. Overhead budget, overhead cost budget. In this overhead cost budget, factory overhead is there, admin is there, selling is there. So these are the important list of budgets we have: sales budget, production budget, raw material budget, labor cost budget, overhead cost budget. Fixed budgets, flexible budgets. Now, one thing I missed, very, very important one. What, cash budget. In past attempts, they asked a questions from production budget, cash budget, production budget, cash budget, and a flexible budget. Out of 5 attempts, they are asked only 3 questions. One is related to the production budget, another one is cash budget, another one is flexible budget. If you know the concept of receipts and payment account, that is much more enough for cash budget preparation. So everything is given in the question itself. Just understand the point, calculation only, you will get a marks. Are you clear now? Then I will explain each and everything individually. Now first I start with current budget. So what is the meaning for current budget? You already know. Preparation of a budget for, can I use what called current period or present? Present also known as current only, no? Okay. Short-term budget. So these are the theoretical point of view, just for MCQ purpose. The list is there now. That list you have a formulas as well as concepts. ఇవన్నీ రాసుకుంటూ వెళ్ళిపోయిన తర్వాత లాస్ట్లో మాట్లాడుకుందాం వాటి గురించి. So short-term budget. Preparation of budget for less than 12 months. Long-term budget. Preparation of budget for what ma? More than 12 months. The next one, fixed budget. I have one question, ma. What is the meaning of variable cost and fixed cost, ma? What is the meaning of variable and fixed cost meanings, definitions? Fixed cost means irrespective of, exactly the right word, irrespective of what, no? Irrespective of cost of production. Okay, next. What next? Depends upon the cost of production. Next. Next. చెప్పండి. Okay, then fine. I will give an example to understand detailing of the variable cost and fixed cost. This is a building. We are paying every month rent. Every month rent. Here, what is the activity involved in this building, ma? What is the activity involved in this building? Teaching services only, no? As per this building, teaching services. For example, after December, any activities is happening or not? After December, activities there or not? There is no activity. Exams రాసి వెళ్ళిపోతారు కదా, మళ్ళీ వచ్చి కూర్చుంటారు డిసెంబర్లో. ఎస్ సార్ నోనా? ఫర్గట్ అబౌట్ ది group 1 group 2 మా. Okay, so generally 1 year is a planning, so we are running long-term batches. Okay, after results only we will start another batch. Assumption, we will start. It means after December you will complete your exams. There is no activity in this building. Yes or no? No, I need to pay rent or not, ma, for January and February. Why? Because results came at February ending. Now batch will start at March. There is a 3 months gap. For 3 months gap, I need to pay rent or not? Yes or no? No, that is called fixed cost. If you do or not do your activity, you need to spend money. That money is known as fixed cost. Now when come to the definition point of view, cost not vary with change in level of output. Do you understand the definition of the fixed cost, more? Cost not vary. So what is the meaning of not vary? Not change with change in level of output. If output produce or not to be produced, you have to pay. That is called fixed cost. Are you clear now? Okay, then fine. When it comes to the variable cost, what's the variable cost? Cost vary with the change in level of output. That is nothing but classrooms. If students will increases, I need to take another classroom. If students are increases, I need to spend cost for another room. If decreases, I need not to pay. If increases, I need to pay extra. If decreases, I need not to pay. That is the meaning. Cost vary with change in level of output. Output increases, you have to spend more cost. Output decreases, you have to spend less cost. That is the difference between variable cost and fixed cost. Now tell me in definition point of view, what is the meaning of variable cost? Cost not vary or change. Cost change with change in level of output. Now what is the change here? If output increases, cost also increases. If output decreases, cost also decreases. That is called variable cost. Now what about the fixed cost? Cost not vary with change in level of output. If output increases, fixed cost is same. If output decreases, fixed cost is same. Do you understand the logic behind this? Okay. Now when it comes to fixed budget, prepared for single level of activity. What's the meaning for fixed budget? Prepared for single level of activity. Sir, what is meant by single level of activity? In my plant, I can produce 100%. Now, the 100% plant capacity is 1 lakh units. Okay? But I can't produce 1 lakh. Why I can't produce 1 lakh? Anyone? What is my plant capacity? 1 lakh units of mobile phones. But I am not producing 1 lakh. Can anyone tell me the reasons for I am not producing 1 lakh units? Different reasons is there. The main important reason is demand. The main important reason is what? Demand. Based on demand only I will produce. In market there is only demand for 10,000 units. Can I produce 1 lakh? If I produce 1 lakh, what happened? If I produce 1 lakh, what happened? 90,000 units are unsold. That unsold is nothing but closing stock. If you have a more closing stock, you have to pay carrying cost, carrying cost, not ordering cost, carrying cost. Yes or no? Based on that only they will decide based on the activity. So in demand, how much percentage is the only demand in the market? 10,000 units means 10%. That is called one level of activity. 30% in the demand is 30%. That is a second level of activity. Now the total level of activity is 100%. I have a 3 level of activities. What are the level of activities? 10%, 30%, 50%. For this 3 level of activity, I am not planning for 3 levels. I am planning only for 1 level, either 10% or 30% or 50%. That is called fixed budget. Now read the sentence, prepared for single level of activity. Do you understand, Flexible budget. Adjust according to changes in level of activity. Now tell me meaning for this sentence, adjust according to changes in level of activity. Same example, if you prepared for 10% level of activity, 30% level of activity, 50% level of activity, that is called what kind of a budget? Flexible budget. If you prepared only for particular level, that is called fixed budget. If you prepared for all level of activities, flexible. Flexible or fixed చెప్పింది మీరు? Flexible లేనా? నాకు ఫిక్స్డ్ లాగా వినపడింది. కొంచెం గట్టిగా చెప్పండి. Are clear, sir? So if you preparing for simple sense, if you preparing for more than one level of activity, that is called flexible budget. If you prepared only for one level of activity, that is called fixed budget. Are you guys clear? These are the professional words. MCQ purpose only I written that professional words. In MCQs, they will not give that kind of simple sentences. They will give this kind of professional sentences. Are you guys clear? But what is the general meaning of flexible budget? If you prepared budget for more than one level of activity, that is known as flexible. If you prepare only for one level of activity, that is called a fixed budget. Are you okay now? So one is Penigma, master budget. Now tell me the master budget, ma. Anyone? Master budget. గెస్లు కొట్టుకుంటూ వెళ్ళిపోవాలి. ఇన్ని అర్థమైన తర్వాత ఇంకా ఏదో గెస్ కొట్టేయాలి దాన్ని బేస్ చేసుకొని. ఇవన్నీ అర్థమైనాయి కదా నీకు. ఇప్పుడు మాస్టర్ బడ్జెట్ కూడా ఏదో గెస్ చేయను అంటే అయిపోద్ది. Consolidation of all budgets is known as master budget. Consolidation of all budgets is known as master budget. Now what is meant by consolidation of, ma? Consolidation of means what, ma? Considering all. So what are the all we have? These are the functional budgets we have now. The consolidation of all functional budgets is known as master budget. Consolidation of all production budgets is known as master budget. This is the classification of budgets, ma, under definitions. Check once more, ma. Any doubt regarding this budget and budgeting and budgetary control? Sure. Now this example is okay. The example tells us purpose of budget and budgetary control. Now we have two purposes for the selling price point of view as well as profit point of view. The next one is classification of budgets. Now based on functionality, based on time, based on capacity. So based on functionality, how many budgets we have, ma? Master budget, functional budget. What is the master budget, ma? Consolidation of all functional budgets is known as master budget. What is the functional budget, ma? Preparation of budgets for anyone. Preparation of budgets for individual activity, not level of activity. Individual activity or function. Okay. Now what are the functions you have, ma? Sales function is there, production function is there, raw material function is there, labor function is there, overhead function is there, cash function is there. Preparation of that functions is known as functional budgets. Do you understand the definitions? Okay then. What is the meaning of current budget, ma? Preparation of budget less than 1 month or less than 1 week or today is known as current budget. What about the short term budget, ma? Okay, super. What about the long term budget? Yeah, okay. What is the fixed budget, ma? Here don't confuse. Functions are different, levels are different, activities are different, level of activities are different. Okay. Now the capacity talks about activity, level of activity. If you are preparing for only one level of activity, that is called fixed budget. If you are preparing budgets for more than one level of activity, that is called flexible budgets. Functional budget. Now tell me the definition for functional budget. Preparation of budget for each function. For each function. Tell me the functions. Sales, production, labor, overhead, and cash. Okay, then fine. So I'm start with the functional budgets explanation. The first one is sales budget. The sales budget is nothing but estimated ORR desired sales, estimated or desired sales units. Sir, how I know these desired sales means they will give in the question paper. They will give in the question paper. Or you need to use the techniques in OMSM. There is a demand forecasting chapter. Then a group 2 OMSM, there is a demand forecasting chapter. In the demand forecasting chapter, you will learn how to forecast the demand. Are you guys clear? When it comes to the budget's point of view, that much of knowledge is not required. They will give direct information. Now the sales budget is nothing but estimated or desired sales units. Now I want sale value. That is a calculation part involved here. How to calculate sale value, ma? How to calculate sale value? How to calculate sale value? Number of units sold. That is nothing but estimated or desired sales units into selling price per unit. Do you understand the logic? They will give direct information called number of units. If you multiply with per unit price, you will get sale value. The above discussion is about units. Now the calculation you have to do is a sale value. That's the word they're asking. Prepare sales budget. So prepare sales budget. Now sale value is nothing but estimated units sold into selling price per unit. Selling price per unit. My question ma sale units, production units both are same ma? Sale units, production units both are same ma? Sale units, production units both are same or different ma? Why ma? Based on the demand is nothing but that much of customers is ready to purchase. That means we will sold that much of units. Yes or no? No? Demand means what ma? 10 people are interested to buy that product. There 10 people are interested to product means I am sold 10 units only na? Yes or no? My question not talking about demand point of view. I am talking about my company production and sales. Both are same or different in every time. Then produce చేసినటువన్నీ అమ్మేస్తానా? Yes or no? No. It not be happen. What will be happen, sir? Sir, when it comes to the production point of view, we will use some opening finished goods if any. Yes or no? No. As well as there is a closing finished goods adjustments. Okay. So if I produce 1 lakh units, in market they purchased only 90,000 units. Now what about the 10,000 units? Go with the numericals. So how many units I produced ma? Tell me one assumption. Tell me one number ma. 10,000 units you are produced ma. When it comes to the market, only 9,000 units are sold ma. 9,000 units are sold. Now what about that 1,000 units ma? What ma? Closing stock. Closing stock. Okay. Opening 500. Production 10,000. Closing 1,000. Can anyone tell me the sale units? How many units you sold in the market? How many units you were sold in the market? How many units you were sold in the market? Now simple, you already know the accounts. Opening finished good, sales, production, closing stock. Now what is the opening stock ma? 500. What about the sales ma? I don't know, I need to figure out. What is the production ma? 10,000. What about the closing ma? 1,000. What about the sales ma? How much ma? 9,500. This is the logic we are using for next concept called production budget. They will ask this question, ma. They will ask this question. Now, please tell me in formula point of view based on that information. I want production units. How to calculate production units, ma? 500 minus 9500 minus 1000. I want production. Forget about the 10,000. I don't know. I need to figure out how to figure out this. Okay. Sign will be confusing. 9500 plus 1000 minus 500. Now, how much is the production, ma? Now, please tell me in the names point of view. What is the name for 9500? Sales. What about the 1000 rupees name? Closing stock. What about the 500? Opening stock. That is a formula for production. Are you guys clear? Okay, then fine. I want sales, ma. I want sales. ఇంతకు ముందు నేనేం తప్పేం రాయలేదు, కరెక్ట్గానే రాసా, కాకపోతే నెగిటివ్లో వస్తుంది ఆన్సర్. క్లియరా? సో నేను ఎలా రాసానంటే అకౌంట్స్ పాయింట్ రాసా. ఈ 500 పాజిటివ్, ఆపోజిట్లో ఉన్నవి నెగిటివ్లో రాసా. అప్పుడు నీకు minus 10,000 వస్తుంది. అది క్లియర్? ఓకే. బట్ ద ఎగ్జాక్ట్ ఫార్ములా ఈస్ పాజిటివ్ వాల్యూ ప్లస్ వాల్యూస్లో ఉండాలి కాబట్టి సేల్స్ ప్లస్ క్లోజింగ్ స్టాక్ మైనస్ ఓపెనింగ్ స్టాక్. నౌ ద పాయింట్, ఐ వాంట్ సేల్స్. So it means I don't know this. I know this, na? Now please tell me, ma. Opening stock plus production minus closing stock. Now opening stock, please. 500. Production, please. 10,000. Closing stock, please. Now what about the sales, ma? 9,000. Are you clear now? Now my question, ma, why you are adding opening stock to sale for a production calculation point of view? Why you are adding this 1000? Why you are reducing this 500? Why? Why? Because of that table? No. Conceptually, know the understanding. Why you are adding that closing stock? Why you are reducing opening stock? Simple, ma. If I already have a finished opening stock, means I need not to produce. I need not to produce. If there is a closing stock, means I need to produce that much of units for next period. I need to produce, that's why I'm adding to the production. I need not to produce, that's why I'm reducing the production. Do you understand? అర్థమైందా? ఓపెనింగ్ని ఎందుకు లెస్ చేస్తున్నాం, క్లోజింగ్ని ఎందుకు యాడ్ చేస్తున్నాం అంటే ఓపెనింగ్ నా దగ్గర ఆల్రెడీ ఉంది కాబట్టి నేను ప్రొడ్యూస్ చేయను, కాబట్టి నేను ప్రొడక్షన్ యూనిట్స్ నుంచి సేల్స్ యూనిట్స్ నుంచి లెస్ చేసేస్తున్నా. క్లోజింగ్ స్టాక్ అనేది నెక్స్ట్ పీరియడ్కి కావాలి కాబట్టి నేను ప్రొడ్యూస్ చేసి పెట్టుకోవాలి, కాబట్టి ప్రొడక్షన్కి యాడ్ అవుతుంది కాబట్టి యాడ్ చేసుకున్నా. యూ అండర్స్టాండ్ ద లాజిక్, మా? ఆర్ యు క్లియర్? ఫార్ములా, లాజిక్, కాన్సెప్ట్. ఆర్ యు క్లియర్? దెన్ so what is our next budget, ma? Production budget. Production budget. Preparation of budget for units need to produce. Now please tell me the calculation, ma. Production budget calculation. Sales units plus closing stock. I have a doubt, ma. Stock means 3 definitions is there. Stock of raw material, stock of work in progress, stock of finished good. Which stock I have to consider here? Finished good, very, very important. Now stock of raw material budget. Here stock means what, ma? Finished good minus opening stock. Do you understand? If you don't know about the sale units, you can't figure out production budget. Why? Because the order is very, very important. First, we are figuring the sales units. By that adjustment of closing stock and opening stock, you will get production units. Next one. Raw material consumption. Raw material consumption. Now my question, raw material consumption, raw material purchase, both are same or different? Raw material consumption, raw material purchased, both are same or different? Same logic as sales and production. Same logic as sales and production. Kgs of raw material used in the unit manufacturing, that is called consumption. Are you guys clear? For that, we can adjust opening stocks as well as closing stocks. Based on that only, we will figure out purchase value. Are you okay now? Now, so I hope you already know the calculation part of raw material consumption. Raw material consumption equal to opening stock plus purchase minus closing stock. Now, what is the meaning of stock here? Stock of raw material. Now, tell me, what is the difference between raw material consumption and purchase? ఒక యూనిట్ని ప్రొడ్యూస్ చేయడానికి ఎంత యూజ్ చేయాలి అని చెప్పేది కన్జంప్షన్. ఓకే, సో ఫర్ దట్ వీ హ్యావ్ టు పర్చేస్ యాజ్ వెల్ యాజ్ వీ కెన్ యూజ్ అవర్ స్టాక్స్ ఆల్సో. దెర్ ఇస్ ఎ నో స్టాక్స్ మీన్స్ వీ విల్ పర్చేస్ దట్ మచ్ ఆఫ్ యూనిట్స్ ఫ్రమ్ ది అవుట్ సైడ్. దట్ ఈస్ కాల్డ్ రా మెటీరియల్ పర్చేస్. బట్ ఐ ఆల్రెడీ హ్యావ్ ఎ ఓపెనింగ్ స్టాక్, ఐ కెన్ యూజ్ నో. ఎస్ ఆర్ నో? దట్స్ ద అడ్జస్ట్మెంట్ ఆఫ్ ఓపెనింగ్ స్టాక్ అండ్ క్లోజింగ్ స్టాక్. నౌ రా మెటీరియల్ కన్సంప్షన్. Preparation of before consumption, go with the raw material requirement. Preparation of budget for raw material required for production. In our raw material chapter, you solved a lot of problems. For 1 unit of good, you have to use 2 kgs. For 10 units, you have to use 5 kgs. This kind of conditions you learned in material chapter. So what is the meaning of this point, ma? For a manufacturing of 1 mobile, how many kgs of raw material you have to use, ma? 2 kgs. What is the meaning of this, ma? Go with 1 unit only. For 1 unit of manufacturing, you have to use how many kgs? 5 kgs. If conditions say like this, 10 units require 15 kgs. For manufacturing of 10 units, how many kgs of raw material you have to use, ma? 15 kgs. That is called requirement. That is called requirement. Now, where I need to know the units, ma? Production budget saying that units to be produced. For that units, how many kgs you have to use saying that raw material requirement. Raw material requirement. Tell me, ma, how to calculate raw material requirement, ma? Raw material requirement. Production units into usage. Into usage. Now, the production units are 10,000. 1 unit they're saying that 2 kgs. Are you clear? అంటే ఒక యూనిట్ని ప్రొడ్యూస్ చేయాలంటే 2 kgs కావాలంట. అప్పుడు 10,000 యూనిట్స్కి ఎన్ని kgs కావాలి? 10,000 into 2 నేనా? That is the formula. Production units into usage. Now the production budget saying that 25,000 units are the production. For the production of 25,000 units, in below they're saying that 1 unit require 5 kgs. 1 unit require 5 kgs means how many units you planned? 25,000 units. How many kgs is needed now? 25,000 into 5 kgs. You understand the logic, ma? That is called raw material requirement budget. Now after raw material requirement, you have to prepare raw material consumption. Now tell me the raw material consumption. Opening stock of what? Raw material plus raw material purchase minus closing stock of raw material. The next one, ma, raw material cost budget. Raw material cost budget. Raw material consumption into raw material cost per unit. Raw material consumption into raw material cost per unit. Now first we will calculate sale units. For that sale units, if you adjust finished good closing stock and opening stock of finished good, you will get production. For a production, you have to multiply with the usage, you will get raw material consumption. For that raw material consumption, you have to adjust opening stock of raw material and closing stock of raw material. You will get raw material consumption. Multiply with cost per unit, you will get raw material cost. Are you okay? So formula point of view kaakunda concept point of view nechukondi. Okay. Next, when it come to labor budget. Production into number of hours required. Production into number of hours required. For 1 unit, we have to use 3 hours of labor. 3 hours of labor. Now, company planning for 10,000 units. Now, how many hours is needed, ma? 10,000 into 3 hours. Total hours is needed? Hours I know. Hours into rate per hour, you will get rupees. Are you okay now? That is nothing but labor cost budget. Number of hours used for production into rate per hour. Rate per hour. That the two things is known as labor cost budget. Next, overhead budget. Variable overhead plus fixed overhead. Variable overhead plus fixed overhead. So I will give a clarity regarding to the variable overhead calculation, fixed overhead calculation. I hope you know how to calculate a variable cost. If they provide a 2 level of activity, change in amount divided by change in units, you will get a per unit variable cost. Multiply with the units, you will get a variable cost. Total cost minus variable cost, you will get a fixed cost. That kind of things we will discuss in calculation point of view. As of now, variable overhead plus fixed overhead. Next, ma, what budget, ma? Cash budget. Opening cash balance plus receipts minus receipts, ma? Plus receipts minus receipts. Receipts means cash inflow. Plus or minus? Already in our books of accounts, I have a 10,000 rupees of cash. For that, I will add receipts. Minus payments are plus payments, ma? Minus payments. So this is called cash budget. This is the calculation part involved, ma, for functional budgets, not for flexible budgets. Flexible budgets are bacha problems. They're just a common sense based problems. Here it involved formulas. So you want to by heart cheyala, understand ayipotaya. So what is the things we have to do first? First we have to find out sales units. For that sales units, if you are just opening finished good and closing finished good, you will get production units. For that production units, if you use the usage of raw material, you will get raw material requirement. For that raw material requirement, you have to adjust opening stock of raw material, closing stock of raw material, you will get raw material consumption. Into raw material cost per unit, you will get raw material cost in rupees. When it comes to the labor, you already calculated production units. Production unit into number of hours is needed. You will get a production hours. Production hours into rate per hour, you will get labor cost. When it comes to the overhead, variable overhead plus fixed overhead, you will get a overhead budget. Now when it comes to the cash budget, opening cash if they provides. If not provides, go with the payments and receipts. Opening plus receipts minus payments. That's about functional budgets. Without it, shall we do the problem? See illustration number 26, This is a basic problem. Okay. I will tell you 5-star rated questions also. So if I said 5-star means not important for exam, you have to practice 5 times. Okay, with your own. So after completion of one time calculation, remove 1 star. Okay, the simple common sense based here. Exams are just a psychological impact. For example, in production point of view, 5 problems is there. Last 2 problems are standard, difficult problems. So maximum of the students, they will touch first 3 problems. They will forget about it. They will not prepare 2 problems. Automatically, they will ask the 2 questions only. Very clear, na? So why the pass person is only 7%, 14% means the only 14% people are touched the 2 questions. Are you okay now? Now see, the Parker company manufacture 2 models of adding machines A and P. The following production and sales data for the month sales data for month of June 2022 are given below. Particulars A, B. Estimated inventory June 1. What's the meaning for June 1? Opening or closing? Opening. We can't say based on next date. We can decide only based on next date. Okay, just it is a stock. Okay, then fine. Desired inventory June 30. Yeah, now I can judge June 1 is a opening finished good, June 30 is a closing finished good. Next, expected sales volume. That I already told. Desired sales or estimated sales. They said directly. Next, unit selling price. That is nothing but selling price per unit. Now, prepare a sales budget. Prepare a sales budget. I have a question, Here sales budgets means preparation of units or preparation of value. Preparation of units or preparation of value. Sales budgets means value only. Now how you get a value? Number of units sold or estimated units or desired sales units into selling price per unit. 7,500 into 75. 5,000 into 120, completed. Do you understand? Now that only we discussed sales value, estimated units sold into selling price per unit. How much is the answer, ma? I will present, ma. Just to do in your calculator. 7,500 into 75. What, ma? 5,62,500. What about the product B, ma? 5,000 into 120, yeah? 6 lakhs. Now, company focusing only on product A or product B or both? Company focusing only on product A or product B or both? Both only, na? Company will not focus on particular product. They are focusing on total product. Now, that's why you have to say total sales. 11,62,000. Do you understand why I am calculated total? Why? Company need not focus on particular thing. They're focusing on total things. That's why you have to maintain a total column. Are you okay now? Then fine. Sales budget and production budget. How to calculate production budget, ma? Sales units plus closing minus opening. Now, opening is there, closing is there, sales is there. Now 7,500 plus 4,000 minus 4,500. What, ma? 7,000. What about B, ma? Sale units 5,000 plus closing 2,500 minus opening 2,250. What, ma? That's it. Production is not a value. Production is only units. Do you understand the logic? Production is the value lo rupees lo cheppalem, units lone cheptam. When it comes to the sales, ma, you can express in units as well as value. But units they will give. That's why we are presenting value. That's it, ma. Okay. We will finish this problem number 27 also. Then I will written in my notes. Now come to the illustration number 27. Prepare a production budget for 3 months ending March 31st, 2022 for a factory producing 4 products on the basis of following information: product A, product B, product C, product D. Estimated stock on January 1, 2022. Can I name it as a opening, ma? Estimation sales during the January to March sales. Can I name it as a closing stock, ma? Okay, then fine. What they're asking, ma? Now production budget equals to 10,000 plus minus plus minus plus minus plus minus. First opening stocks are minus, closing stocks are added. Now what is the answers, ma? So please focus on my point. If I'm asking calculation means if I had a more than one calculation, ఒక్కొక్కరు ఒకటి చేయండి. అందరూ ఒకటే చేయొద్దు. సో ఒకరు సెకండ్ చేయండి, ఒకరు థర్డ్ చేయండి, ఒకరు ఫోర్త్ చేయండి, ఒకరు ఫస్ట్ చేశారనుకో మనకి స్పీడ్ అయిపోద్ది. మరి క్లియర్నా? నా వాట్ అబౌట్ ది ఫస్ట్ ఆన్సర్, మా? ప్రోడక్ట్ ఏ ఆన్సర్ 11,000. What about the product B, ma? 17,000. What about the product C, ma? 12. What about the product D, ma? 11. Very clear, ma? Now these two are Budgetary problems. This is the standard problem. With the help of that knowledge we can easily crack this 28. Okay, so these things we will discuss in tomorrow class. ఇప్పటికే మనం చాలా ఎక్కువ నేర్చుకున్నాం ఈరోజు. డే 1 క్లాస్లో ఎంత నేర్చుకోకూడదు. ఓకే, దెన్ ఫైన్. సో ఐ హ్యావ్ ఎ టైమ్, ఐ విల్ ప్రజెంట్ ఇన్ మై నోట్స్. సో ప్రాబ్లమ్ నెంబర్ 26, రైట్? Now the headings are very, very important. What you are calculating, you have to present in top of the box. Preparation of sales budget. For company name, if they provide, go with the company name. If company name is not provided, go with the date. Preparation of sales budget for the period of June or Jan, something. Preparation of sales budget for the month of June 2022. Can I name it as called a current budget? As per time basis, current budget. As per functional point of view, sales budget. Preparation of tables are very important in budget. Okay, the planning, you have to plan properly. The first I'm taking here particulars, product A, product B. Sometime this presentation is differ from your material. Okay, don't worry about the presentation. Go with ఏది ఈజీగా అనిపిస్తే అలా చేసుకుంటూ వెళ్ళిపో. Now when it comes to the first point, so when it comes to the sales budget, sales units is needed. Now tell me the sales units, ma. Page number 35. 7,500, 5,000. Next, multiply with selling price per unit. Don't use shortcuts in exam. SPP, you don't use that kind of words. Go with the full forms only. Now, per unit how much, ma? 75, 120. Now you will get a value name called sale value. 5 lakh. Okay. Now you have to maintain another column. Total. So total will reflect directly here. 11 lakh 500. Next, another thing is there, ma. Preparation of production budget, ma. For the month of now don't use the formulas. Go with the tabular presentation. Now what is our first in the formula point of view, what is the word first you are taking? Sales, na. Now here there is a no column of total, ma. Okay, why? Because individual product had a individual usage. Sometime for a manufacturing we need to use more raw material, B less raw material. Sometimes B need a more raw material, A need less raw material. That's why I can't say total point of view. You understand? But sales there is a no discussion of usage. That's why I can say na total point of view. Now what's the first formula? First word, sales, not sales, sales units. Now what about the sales units? 7,500, 5,000. What's the next in formula? Add closing stock. Add closing stock. 4,000, 2,500 minus 4,500, 2,000. Now what is the outcome you will get more? Amount value is different, outcome is different. Outcome means name. What is the outcome you will get? Production, produced units, production please. 7,000, 5,000, 250. So this is the exam presentation. In one of the attempt, they asked this kind of question for 7 marks. In this kind of question, prepare a production budget. They provided sales units. They have said opening stocks and closing stocks. Problem number 27. What is the requirement, ma? What they're asking? Production budget. Preparation of production budget for 3 months. Huh? Preparation of production budget for 3 months period. You can observe, ma, in function point of view, it is a production budget. In time point of view, it is a short-term budget. Particular, listen. In above problem, they provided 2 products. That's why the horizontal presentation is sufficient. Okay. Now here they expresses 4 products. Now you have to check horizontal is best or vertical is best. Are you clear, sir? Okay. So if they provided more, here is the horizontal is sufficient only. But if they provided 5 or 6, go with the vertical. I will present here vertical point of view now. Products, sales units, closing stock, opening stock, production. Any confusing regarding to presentation, ma? Sure, na? Product A, B, C, D. Tell me about the sales units, ma. 10,000. What, ma? 15,000. 13,000. 12,000. Closing stocks, ma. 3,000. 5,000. 3,000. 2,000. What about the opening stocks, ma? 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, 3,000. Tell me about the production. 11,000, 17,000, 12,000. Okay. Okay, open your notes and write down. So tomorrow class onwards, we plan writing notes in class itself. Okay, I will not give any extra time. So నాతో పాటు రాసే నెక్స్ట్ క్లాస్ నుంచి టైం సేవ్ చేద్దాం.